Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Living in a country, if you immigrate like I did, you get accultured. You learn the culture and you put it to your heart, and you learn how to behave and see what changes occur over time. Culture is something that obviously is dynamic, it's changing, it's evolving, devolving. In this case, I noticed in this great country, which is the United States of America, which was greater before, but unfortunately these guys seem to take a dump on it, and I'm very upset about it. I noticed that victimhood and the victims somehow are supposed to function in a society under a different set of rules, and I totally disagree with that. Because we all have been victims of something more or less. So we should all, that means bypass laws and rules and regulations. So this is what I observed here. In real life, a person who was the victim of, let's say, rape, awful, or I don't know, sexual abuse, or I don't know, domestic violence. When they are in a society and they claim I was a victim of that, they expect, and a lot of people do it, expect that doors should be open. Somehow that person should be allowed to do things that nobody else is allowed. But just because that person is a victim, come on, let him, he was or she was a victim. All of a sudden, laws do not apply to this kind of situation. Well, I oppose that very much. And it seems like Zelensky plays the same card. Zelensky goes to NATO and the European Union, and he tells those weasels who supposedly are in charge, and they are in charge, I'm fighting a war, the Russians are killing the Ukrainian nation, and not me, Ukrainian nation, therefore we should be given an easy path. Certain rules and regulations of NATO to be a member state of NATO or European Union should be ignored only because that guy is kicking my butt right now. Well, I disagree with that. Laws in a society do not get suspended if you were in a tragic, situation where you were a victim. Because we all have been a victim of something somewhere. That means there will be no laws. Or would be, hey, I'm more of a victim than you are. Here is my badge. Oh, mine is bigger. Oh, my bad, go ahead. No, that's not how a society functions. Rule-based, law-based society. No. So let me show you this article where Zelensky says the exact thing I just mentioned in 3 minutes or so. Ukrainska Pravda. Zelensky on promise of NATO membership. Not such a high price for war. Everybody pretends to be, oh my God, he's going to tell us what's going on. Oh my God, such a fake people. So Zelensky believes that the NATO countries at the summit in Vilnius should give Ukraine a clear signal about the prospect of becoming a member of the alliance because, this is the argument, Ukrainians are paying for it in blood, in the war Russia has unleashed. Okay? So he says, you know what, we understand that we will be in NATO in a few years or after the war, depending on what the members of the alliance decide, blah, blah, blah. But it is necessary to give a signal to motivate Ukraine to defend Europe. This is a scenario I do not subscribe to. This is not such a high price for such a war and such suffering that you're not feeling, I might add, is the Ukrainian nation that feels it for other people's interests. So, first, this is a scenario, you have no evidence that you defend Europe from the Russians, and once you make that claim, you expect everything else to open the door for you. So you are the victim here defending Europe. Not true. This is not such a high price for such a war and such suffering. So he says, well, you owe us because we're suffering. Therefore, somehow you owe us because otherwise you're going to be suffering. No. If you were sexually molested, that's bad. It doesn't mean that that guy or that person, that individual, will move towards me. And doesn't mean that if that guy would come towards me, will have the same success, as bad as it was, to create such a crime, to perpetrate such a crime. Okay? So don't give me this, oh my God, it happened to me, might happen to you. It might. But if we talk about what could, what should, what might, give me all your money. You might be robbed tonight. I can keep it. I have a lot of things here. All right? How about that? Or why don't you give me your wife for good keeping? Maybe, I don't know, you're going to beat her tonight. Some domestic violence I heard over there. So if she stays with me for, I don't know, as long as I feel good, then, no. Come on, man. Maybe tonight some creeps are going to show up at your house. Why don't you send her here? And you can stay over there and defend the house. No? Or what if, you give me all your money because right now, I don't know, I got punched in the face in a road rage incident. How about that? What do you have to do with that? All right? If you are a victim, the laws still apply to you. And making scenarios, based on the scenarios, you can't ask for things like I just did. You can't do that. So please fight back and do not agree with that kind of stupidity. All right? I'm pretty sure you don't, because you are here with me so far. Otherwise, you would say, what an idiot, and you would have been gone in the first minute. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.